And joining us now is ANU Burma expert Monique Skidmore, who's in our Canberra studio. Good evening to you, Monique. The numbers reported out, today are truly horrific, aren't they? But does it surprise you that the initial response to the disaster has come from ordinary citizens with apparently little action from the military?
Unfortunately, Anton, there is nothing surprising about the lack of a response by the military regime. There has been almost no warning for residents, even though these satellite images of the cyclone were available last week. There's been a delayed response in allowing international aid organisations into the country, and unfortunately that is just a regular way that the military regime operates, very, very slowly.
Now, Monique, news just coming in now is that the constitutional referendum that was scheduled for Saturday is now in the balance. So what do you think the implications of that are?
It sounds like there are reports that in the affected areas that are declared states of emergency, that the referendum will be delayed until May 24. But it is absolutely clear that the military regime will go through with this referendum. It will engineer a yes vote, and it will not allow anything, even a national disaster of this scale, to interrupt that process.
Could it be, maybe sort of looking on the brighter side of this terrible situation, could it be that when international assistance that now has to follow, could that be the catalyst for some real political reform?
I doubt that very much, unfortunately. It will be very good for people in the Delta areas to have access to the UN and to Red Cross and to other aid agencies providing emergency shelters, emergency water. But I don't imagine that the military regime will allow a long-term, sustained response to this. I think it will act to take control of the situation as soon as the major crisis has passed.
And yet, as Tim Costello was saying in our program tonight, it's going to be a long-term process to get those houses rebuilt and those people's lives rebuilt. What response will the military have to that?
Well, it's true that at the moment there are hundreds of thousands of people sleeping out in the open, and there is a desperate search for water. It seems clear that the main rice-producing region of the country has been devastated, and already we're seeing commodity prices skyrocketing again in Rangoon, just like they did before the demonstrations led by monks last year. So there does need to be a sustained response, and the military regime, I think, is clever enough to realise that it must quickly move to quell the anger that is now starting to arise because of a lack of a state response.
OK, Monique Skidmore, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.